officers. Yeah, WPC just see the camera, spun round and just ran the other way. So more interested in their food more than anything. But what has been good is it's good for photography that I've just been left alone. A couple of officers came out, yep, they came out to get their lunch, but they just left me alone. So that's inside on the actual pillar, and let's just see. So you have regional organised crime unit, community investigation team, divisional intelligence unit and divisional coaching unit, and then you got ASBO and everything else. Let me just move out the way because you've got this officer here. So
hello mate, you right?
Yep, don't touch me.
No,
do not touch me,
sir. Go back round the...
Yep. Okay, would you mind standing back, sir?
Come on this way.
Well, first of all, you're not a police officer,
That's
so
right.
don't tell me what to do, sir. Can you actually identify yourself first, sir?
No, you identify yourself.
I don't need to.
Neither do I.
Okay.
Back round here.
No chance, sir.
Could you come back round?
No chance, sir.
That's right.
Okay. So, guys, as you can see, this PCSO here just came out and just tried to completely push me out the way. Right.
You put your arms on me as I walk.
No, you walk straight up to me, sir. Do not even try that one. It's all on camera, so don't worry about that, sir. So, and don't worry, I'll be requesting a copy of that.
I'll request a copy of yours too.
You've got no chance, sir. You're held by GDPR. I'm not. So let's verify that,
well,
sir.
Well, you're on private property.
Are you the landowner? Are you the landowner, sir?
No, but I represent who does.
Okay.
So I'm asking you nicely.
No, you're a PCSO, so do not even attempt to actually speak to me.
If I
and I can decline, sir.
Okay. So if I walked into your garden without permission, would that be okay?
I can decline, sir. Right?
So in private,
so you got a PCSO here, refusing to identify himself. Okay.
I walk into your
21907.
Well done. That's it.
Okay.
That's what you're entitled to, and you've got it now.
Don't worry. Yeah, but you failed to do it, so you will be retrained on that, sir.
Well, thank you very much.
Right.
I appreciate customer feedback.
You were, well, you've got no absolute respect for members of the public.
No.
You have none at all, sir. You have none at all. I don't have to listen to a word you say, sir. You fail to identify yourself to me, so I do not speak to you.
If I walk into your garden, would I be able to ask you to leave?
Yes, and it's a civil matter, sir.
That's right. So can you please leave?
It's a civil matter. The answer is no, sir.
You're welcome to record.
What you're watching right now is the exact second a routine audit flips into a physical confrontation. No shouting crowd. No violent suspect. Just a camera and a push dot. Today's location? Horsham Police Station. The goal? Simple. Observe and document. But within seconds, you hear it, "Don't touch me." That phrase changes everything. Because once physical contact enters the picture, we're no longer debating photography. We're questioning use of force. Here's what makes this powerful. This wasn't chaos. Officers had already walked past calmly. Some were more focused on their lunch than the camera. There was no immediate threat. No raised voice. No aggressive behavior. Yet somehow, a support officer decides escalation is the answer. This case isn't just about filming in a car park. It's about authority versus understanding. Ego versus training. And what happens when someone with limited powers...
Publicly accessible.
No, it's
publicly
not.
accessible.
There's a barrier there.
No, not on the pavement, sir. And there's no sign saying do not actually come through here.
You're in a private car park, not a footpath.
That's because you forced me this way, sir.
I didn't force you.
Yes, you did.
You were stood here.
I stepped down off the steps and you walked right... The camera don't lie, sir. Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Yeah, I came out the toilet and you're
You are a complete bully boy, nothing more. You are a complete bully boy. Number one, you fail to identify yourself.
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Yes, you do, sir. Yes, you do, sir. Look, do me a favour. You don't even have the powers of a traffic warden, so do me a favour and in polite words, please go, leave me alone to do what I'm lawfully allowed to do.
You're not allowed in this private area. That's not lawful.
Yes, I am, sir.
If I walked into your garden without legal purpose, would that be reasonable?
Okay.
It
becomes a civil matter.
Could I walk into your garden?
You can walk into my garden.
And would you be happy with that?
Okay.
And I filmed you through your windows?
It makes no difference.
What if I filmed you through your windows? Would that be okay?
It's a civil matter, sir.
It's not.
It is a civil matter.
It becomes a privacy issue.
When it's
like
public, when it's
now,
private property, it is a civil matter of trespass.
Filming through someone's private window
is a civil matter.
Illegal.
I can film whatever my eye can see from the public. End of story.
But this isn't a public area. This is not a public area.
So do me a favour. Do me a favour.
I appreciate you've got hobbies.
Do me a favour. Do me a favour. Just go away. Right. Look. If you want to do something about this, then go and get me a real police.
Notice the tone early on. Multiple officers walk in and out. No panic. No alarm. No suspicion of terrorism. No demand to stop filming. That tells you something important. When trained officers assess a situation and determine it's low risk, they move on. This is what normal looks like. Calm acknowledgement. Indifference even. And that's significant because it establishes the baseline. If filming the building were inherently unlawful or dangerous, you would expect immediate intervention from the first officers exiting the station. Instead, they prioritize their lunch run. That context matters later. Because when escalation happens, we have to ask, what changed? Was it the activity? Or was it the personality responding to authority isn't about who reacts first?
I'm not. You came out. There was two nice officers that walked in there that said hello to me just round the corner and let me carry on doing what I'm doing. So, look, I can film whatever I can see. So do me a favour. I'm going to carry on with my business. I'm going to carry on with my business. So it's that simple. Okay. So you've got a PCSO there that thinks he can throw his weight around. He was most probably bullied at school, and that's why he decided to put on that fake police officer's uniform, and that's what he's decided to do. As you've seen from the camera, he decided to come right the way out and completely push up right in my face. So it looks like there is where you've got the cells, and that's what you've got. So, and that's what it is. So, but this guy here, what a complete bully boy, nothing more. He must have been really bullied at school. He must have. So, and that's the thing.
I'll try to explain to the gentleman.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. How are you?
Good, not too bad. Would you mind identifying?
Yeah, my name is PC Wells. My warrant number is Echo Alpha 022.
Thank you very much,
As you can
sir.
see on my shoulder.
Thank you very much for identifying yourself.
Can I ask what you're doing here today, please?
Yes, I'm doing a lawful activity, and I'm down here to try and engage.
Here's the turning point. The auditor steps into what appears to be an open-access car park. No visible barrier at the entry point. No prominent no public access signage. And this is where implied access becomes relevant. In UK property law, areas open to the public for business, especially government buildings, often carry implied permission unless explicitly revoked. If access is restricted, signage typically communicates that. When that clarity is missing, confusion fills the gap, but instead of clarifying boundaries verbally, the PCSO initiates physical contact. That's a leap, because physical force isn't step one. It's supposed to be last resort. And watch the language. Go back around. Not a legal explanation. Not a power cited. Just instruction.
Okay.
Right. So I will say thank you very much for that, sir.
Okay.
And what I
tell you what, give us 2 seconds, bud. I'll have a chat with him, and then do you want to go with Caro? Have a chat with Caro, and then we'll get two sides of the same story, and we'll go from there.
Okay. So yes, so I'm just down here because recently you've actually got the Police Federation for Sussex that did actually release a statement saying that they believe themselves that there is a complete divide between the public and the police.
Right.
So I'm just down here. As you know, there aren't many police on the street at the moment. A lot of them go around in vehicles. The main place you can see the police is at a police station.
Okay.
Now, as I've come round, there's no signs around there saying no public beyond that point. That's why I'm allowed to actually access this under Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act of 1972. So I'm allowed access round here because there is no sign round the front. He came around when I was standing over there, and I've got it all on camera, and he just completely pushed up and pushed me into the corner. You can see I walked with a stick, and he tried to push me over. Right? Okay. I will be filing assault charges for that because he should not have done that. Also, he failed to identify who he was. Right? Not like yourself. When you came out, I asked you to identify yourself. You've done that. It was perfectly fine. Okay. Now, what I will actually show you, just so we can actually clarify this. Okay. So, not like what this one does, I understand. As you can see, that is from the NSPCC.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now you must know who the NSPCC are. So you can see clearly from that, okay, what's come out. I'm completely well within my rights to do so, and it says that we are allowed to do so. So, and once I've done my story, then I will make my way and I'll be off. Now, there were 2 officers that came out to get their lunch. They said good afternoon and everything else, and they were really pleasant. And that's how it should be. And they wonder why there's a divide. Now, the way that you've come out, if you were on the street, that would be a fantastic interaction with any member of the public. And that's what the public want to see.
Of course.
It's when you get somebody like this gentleman here, and the way that he went, that is what gives good officers a bad name. And that's what we have to come away from. And that's why I just come down to see what officers' views were on whether or not they believe there is a divide.
It's something that I'm not going to comment on,
Okay.
and for the simple reason of
And that's your
we
right
have
not to
our
comment.
media departments that speak on
Yep.
behalf of the police. I'm very conscious that we are all stood here in a uniform, and that my personal comments on the matter could then be construed as being the views of Sussex Police, and that's
Yeah,
not
no,
the case.
no, that's fair
See,
enough.
my views are my own, but when I wear this uniform, I represent Sussex Police,
Yep.
as do my colleagues here. Okay?
That's fair enough.
So, with respect to you, sir, I'm going to refrain
That's
from
fine.
commenting.
That's not a problem,
And
sir.
if you wanted a comment from the police service in relation to the divide between
Yeah,
us and the
I've
public,
contacted the press office a
Right.
number of times, but they only ever seem to get back to me when there's something good to actually be
Right,
said.
okay.
And that is a sad thing, because
This moment is everything. The PCSO insists the area is private, and that may very well be true. But here's the legal nuance. Simple trespass is typically a civil matter, not a criminal one. That means police powers are limited unless additional factors are present. You can't just push someone because you're annoyed. You need lawful authority tied to necessity and proportionality. And we haven't seen that threshold met. What makes this worse is the refusal to identify initially. Transparency diffuses tension. Refusal fuels it. When someone wearing a uniform declines to provide basic identification while asserting control, it erodes trust instantly. This is no longer about a camera. It's about credibility.
as I said, you've been really polite, you've been really professional, and it's been really, really good. As I said, if you don't want to answer the question, you don't need to answer the question. And that's perfectly fine. That's well within your rights to do so. But what is not acceptable is what this actual PCSO did. That's not acceptable in any way.
I can't comment on that because obviously I didn't witness that again. And like you said, you're well within your rights to make any sort of complaint that you wish to do so. And if you need to know how the process works in relation to making an internal complaint about a member of Sussex Police staff, we can go through that. That's not a problem.
That's fine.
In the interest of, like you said, I've been polite with you and been absolutely fine with you, and I appreciate what you've said about the signage. And that is obviously something that we will have to address if that is the case. But can I ask there to be some sort of compromise between the two of us? I'm happy to continue having a conversation with you, for the time being. But this is a private car park, whether it's signed or not. Like I said, you've certainly quoted the Act of Parliament to me. However, I'm going to ask for some sort of compromise between the two of us, considering that I've been absolutely perfectly polite with you, and therefore I see no reason for you to sort of not.
And here it is, the contrast. PC Wells identifies himself immediately, provides his caller number, asks open questions. No pushing, no ego, just dialogue. This is policing by consent and action. Instead of commanding compliance, he invites conversation. He listens to the allegation of assault without dismissing it. He doesn't blindly defend his colleague. He doesn't escalate. Tch how